All right, welcome back. We're going to talk about affirmations now, the A and Ors. Affirmations are a really cool thing to use. What we end up using is normally something called an attaboy when we think we are affirming. Now, it's really important to distinguish the difference, because what an affirmation is it always has to have data. It always has to have the why. Why are you giving the compliment? So an attaboy would look something like if I told somebody, boy, you are an amazing person. That's an attaboy. Now, if you hear that, it's nice. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But it's kind of like sugar in a diet. It tastes really good in the moment, but it doesn't give any good value, right? Versus when I give an affirmation that has the data, it gives the why. So if I went up to that person and I said, man, you are such an amazing person because you went over and took the time to take care of that child that was upset and crying, right? So what I'm doing is I'm affirming the behavior. I'm affirming or giving a positive recognition to something that somebody did, said, or acted on, right? So an affirmation always looks at the why. It'll always explain the why within it. Now you may ask, why is that important? Well, first off, that's a great open-ended question if you did ask that. Secondly, well, let's take a look at a few things. If I only give an attaboy, the person has no idea what we're acknowledging. So let's say my child has been goofing around outside all day and, I noticed earlier when I was doing dishes that they picked some flowers for their sister and gave them to them. However, I went and started working around the house and I saw the child come in later, an hour or so later, and I said, why, you are such a good boy, right? They don't know what to attribute it to. Maybe just a little bit ago before they came in, they were kicking dirt at their dog or their little sister. And then you go and give them a compliment of how great of a boy they are. And they're like, yeah, I'm really good at cooking dirt. So we want to be careful of what we're recognizing. Affirmations recognize what we want to see. So we are affirming this specific behavior. Now, if you think about this is important because we know that positive rewards influence behavior. And so this is a really, really great way to influence behavior. What we highlight with an affirmation is what we're probably going to see more of, or that behavior to grow. So affirming allows for behavior to grow. Not only that, if we affirm any action, any thoughts or words that are in the direction of the change we're looking for, that we're guiding towards, or the behavior to work through the conflict and the calming down of that, what we're going to do is guide that behavior. So we'll see it move and grow in a way that we're kind of guiding to. Now, if we want to be effective at affirmations, they have to be genuine. Now, I don't know about you, but I've received affirmations or compliments or even attaboys that were not genuine. And again, if you've ever received them, they're not fun to receive. It hurts. I call it the worst lie, right? We like to be happy and like to feel good about ourselves. And so when someone comes along and half-heartedly gives us an attaboy, an affirmation about something they don't believe, it just feels icky, right? So don't do it. If you're going to give an affirmation, you make sure that you really mean it, that it comes from the heart, that it's genuine. What's great about affirmations is they also build confidence. When we're affirming somebody and their behavior, it highlights that for them. Not only that, it can help people to highlight their strengths. One of the things about humans, about all of us, is we will always notice our weaknesses before our strengths. Think about that. Let me use an example, because most people don't like public speaking. Think about a time you ever got up in front of people and had to speak. Normally, when you sit back down, think about what's going through your mind. You're probably having things like, oh my gosh, I was so sweaty up there. Oh my gosh, what did I forget to say? Oh my gosh, I stumbled on this or that. Oh no, how many ums did I say? Right? You're tearing yourself apart. But as soon as someone comes up and stops to talk to you and say, wow, you know what you said up there really impacted me in a way that I had never thought about before, right? When they give you that positive affirmation, it changes the way you think. Then you get oriented to the things you did well and you start focusing on those. So it's important to recognize affirmations can help shift our thinking as well, especially for our children. We affirm things, we affirm behaviors, and they orient to those strengths. They grow their confidence in their skills and their abilities just from us affirming the positive things that they do, the positive things that they're saying, moving towards, intentions they have. We can affirm all of those. So affirmations can be very powerful. Now, this is a question I normally ask when I'm training people live. Is I ask them, when is the last affirmation you gave? Now, normally, most people in the room don't remember. It's because we don't give a lot of them. In fact, we might give more compliments, but affirmations, purposeful affirmations that are genuine from the heart, how often do you give those? That's an important question to ask. Because here's what I would challenge you to do. To be purposeful about your affirmations. That you set some kind of a personal goal and then go out and see if you can increase the affirmations that you give. Maybe that's once a day, maybe it's 3 times a week, whatever is comfortable for you. Now remember, in order to give a real affirmation, it means you have to be seeing what's going on. You have to see the behavior or the intentions or whatever's happening so that you can affirm it. So it means you gotta be around, you gotta see your kids and see the great things that they do, and then you can affirm it.